Hello, and thank you for watching this February 15th weather update, brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I'm a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. Well, this Valentine's weekend was one for the record books. The picture you see here is one from Mount Washington in New Hampshire. This is what the summit of this mountain typically looks like in winter, and if you didn't already know, there is a famous weather station located at the top of this mountain. The fame comes from the extreme weather this station has recorded over the years, including a 231-mile-per-hour wind. This past weekend, weather maps in the Northeast look something like this. Here we are looking at New England, and the first thing that jumps out at you is the extremely low wind chill values in northern New Hampshire. Now, it was really cold this past weekend across the Northeast, but here's a look at the observations on Mount Washington on Valentine's Day. Winds were steady around 50 miles an hour with temperatures holding near minus 26 degrees Fahrenheit. That's good enough for a wind chill factor of minus 68. With such extremely low temperatures, meteorologists at the observatory decided the only way to celebrate the holiday was to toss boiling water into the bitterly cold atmosphere. The extremely hot water quickly vaporizes and then almost immediately condenses into a cloud that refreezes into ice. Essentially, the boiling water is converted into a cloud made of tiny frozen cloud droplets. I mean, what else is there to do when it's that cold than explore the limits of cloud physics? Well, February has been a bit of a roller coaster ride in terms of temperature. Each week brings an extreme form of weather on one end of the spectrum, and the next week brings the exact opposite. For example, this map shows the surface air temperature anomalies early this past Saturday morning. At the Agrible headquarters in Champaign, Illinois, the morning lows were in the single digits, and we were several degrees below our climatological average. However, embedded is this graph, which shows how the temperatures are forecast to change throughout this week for Champaign. Each day's highs and lows are shown here using data from 21 different model forecasts. So we rebound early in this week to more seasonable temperatures before heading toward the 60s by the end of this week. This animation shows the forecast for air temperatures this week. Notice how the record-setting cold air in the eastern half of the country pulls north and warmer conditions build in from the south. By Friday, 60-degree temperatures have pushed into the central plains and Ohio River Valley. The warmth at the end of this week follows the flow of the jet stream. This map shows the position of the jet on Thursday. The color coding represents the wind speed, and we can see a large bow in the flow of the jet stream, indicating the presence of a large ridge. Ridges are associated with warm air near the surface, and this ridge will bring temperature anomalies that will be 10 to 20 degrees above average for the central United States. But here's a picture of the jet stream on Wednesday night of next week, the last week in February. Instead of a large ridge, the jet is back into a deep trough. And, just like the rest of February, the roller coaster of temperatures will continue. Here's a temperature anomaly map for the weekend after next. Once again, another blast of Arctic air. Now, there's a lot of time between now and this forecast time, but it looks as though the wild swings in temperature are not over for the eastern half of the United States. So let's turn our attention to precipitation. Last weekend, snow spread through the north-central plains, through Illinois, Indiana, and the Ohio River Valley. Snow totals generally range from 1 to 6 inches for most locations, except for those locations downwind of the Great Lakes, which received more. The animation you have been watching shows 2 low-pressure systems that will impact the United States to start this coming week. By midday Monday, a deepening low will push northeast out of Tennessee and drop a lot of rain and snow along the eastern third of the country. At the same time, another Alberta clipper slides through the plains and drops more snow on locations that just received new snow this past weekend. Here is the total snowfall expected by Friday of this week. 1 to 2 inches for the central states, but much larger amounts in the mountainous parts of the Northeast and upstate New York. If you're watching this and live along the East Coast, the much bigger threat is the potential for icing. This map shows the probability of ice accumulating over 1/10 of an inch. The spine of the Appalachians through New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire need to prepare for hazardous driving conditions on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the West Coast gets yet another round of snow and rain, which is going a long way to end historic drought in these states. This map shows total accumulated precipitation for this week out west. Well, as always, we at Agrible bring you the latest and best weather forecast information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather video update. Thank you.